Good morning, everyone. My name is Kim Carlisle, and we're going to show you a video of our 2025 Heisey show here in Newark, Ohio at the GMP Union Hall at 310 North Hudson Street, Newark, Ohio. The hours of the show are Friday, which is today, from 12 to 7, and it's Saturday from 10 to 2. Hope you can make it out to the show. If you're not going to make it to the show and you see anything you're interested in, all you have to do is give us a call, either Sarah or myself a call, or put a post here on the YouTube video, and we'll get back with you as soon as possible. The show will open up at 12 o'clock, so I'm not sure what time Sarah's going to post this, but it may be pretty busy when you try to call us, but we will get back with you. So I'm going to go kind of slow. If you see anything you're interested in, just let me know. I'll point out just a few pieces as I go along. Like on this table, we have a pair of New Era candelabras, and it has sea glaze cuttings on it. So this is just the front of our booth. There's a hairpin basket in the back. Ski-Arrest cocktail shaker and glasses. 5-pound candy dish. Back behind that you see a daisy and leaves pitcher. Here's a amber flying mare on a bust off, and it is not Heisey, it is by Imperial. It's signed NI, which stands for New Imperial. Swan. There's a large Greek key underplate to the punch bowl. Round off with some Aqua Calientes. Now we'll go to the other side of our booth here, and we'll just go right on around. Have a few little select pieces of Alexandrite. You see on top a Christus Decanter and Sahara. Very unusual water pitcher. That's called an Irene water pitcher. It'll be the first time we've ever had that. There's a nice piece of Peerless. It's a vase in emerald green. Heisey made several different headlight lens for automobiles as basically prototypes, and never put them in production. There's about 4 or 5 different ones that they made. There's one back there. Nice Reese Risley stemware with Merrimont cutting. Fleet and Pedal pitcher with an ice lip and moon gleam. Here's a couple Cafe Posés, one's with the Victory carving and one a Colonial. Both of them difficult to find. There's a pair of tall Mercury candle holders in Flamingo. Beautiful water pitcher in Empress Pompeii etching and Sahara the color. There's an ice cream cone holder. Those are always pretty popular. Old sandwich table set. Here's 3 water pitchers. All of them a little bit hard to find. We have the convex on the left, the raised loop there in the center, and a ribbon candy on the right. Not sure how long the video is going to last, but we will go a little slower this year, so maybe you can take a little of it in. There's a hairpin pitcher. That's for a pitcher and bowl set. We don't have the bowl, just a pitcher. Give you something to look for. A few nice pieces of pillows. Have several ball vases with us this year. This is the smallest Sahara one we have right there. Then I think we have up to 9-inch size ball vases. Continental water bottle, an old rose. A couple cathedral vases in Sahara, straight and flared. There's kind of a hard to find candle holder, Crocus and Sahara. There's a Daniel's water up set, night set. Tumbler comes out of the top of it. If you're looking something that's really unusual, here's a goose stem cocktail with an amber stem on it. Very pretty piece. Have all kind of prices in the booth from just a few dollars up to several $1,000s, according to just what the item is. Beehive plates in 3 different sizes, which is all I think they made. Have lots of baskets with us this year. Here's one with butterflies cut on it, probably by Lewis and Neblet in Cincinnati. And most of our baskets are priced right around that $40 to $50 range with cuttings on them. A few Colonial items. There's some coarse rib plates. I don't believe they're dinner plates, but there's a stack of them. I think they're about 12 inches. So I suppose you could use them for dinners. Old Sandwich decanter, Sahara. Then a Moongleam decanter. Have a few pieces of crystallite here on display. Some of them very common, some of them a little bit harder to find. There's a couple rye bottles there in the background on a tray with perfume. Now we'll come to the table right in front of our booth. We have some toothpick holders. Probably the best one we have is, we'll zoom in on that one. There's a locket on a chain in emerald green, a terrain right to its right-hand side. Those are a little bit difficult to find. There's a ring tree in crystal. That's kind of hard to find. A paste jar in Putney and Diamond Point. These are all nice little small items that don't take up much room in a case. There's a couple Oxford cordials with very, very intricate cuttings on them. Base, stem, and all over the bowl. Have two of them available. Stanhope Cruet, Ipswich Cologne, and if you look, it has the long gripper, original stopper in it. Those are hard to find. Carter number 10 inkwell. A few pieces of Old Queen Anne. Water bottle, punch bowl, a medium and a small pitcher. If you like plantation, here's a snack set. These inserts actually do come out. 4 inserts that go around it. That's a very difficult piece to find. All right, we'll get a couple tables here in the middle. We're already 6 minutes into the video. I'm going to try to cut this off probably about 20 minutes at the very most. There's a Coronation Martini pitcher with sailboat carving on it. Ipswich candelabras in cobalt blue with the cobalt inserts. We have most of production colors here for sale. If you see anything you're interested in, all you have to do is tell us what the item is or where it's located. If you're not sure just what the piece is, about where it's located or what it's located by, and we can probably figure out where it's at for you and give you a price. There's a couple cathedral vases in the background in Moongleam. One flared on the left and a straight one on the right. There's a pair of Edna candle holders. That's the candles that burn at both ends. A ball vase and mermaid, and a hydrangea goblet by Dorothy Thorpe there in the middle. Heisey made the glass, Dorothy Thorpe did the decoration. Cobalt blue rum pot. Optic tooth vase. There's an Old Sandwich popcorn bowl in crystal. We'll just go right on around the corner. Have a pretty wide selection of glass this year. All price ranges. A lot of beer mugs in color. Here's both Arctic and Antarctic. The one with the pattern of straight lines on it, that's Antarctic etch, with just an all-over etching. Doesn't seem to have any pattern to it at all. That's called Arctic etch. Like there's a Cathedral V with Antarctic etch, cocktail shaker, 2-quart Arctic etch, and then more Antarctic etch. There's a Whimsy horsehead bookend. If you're familiar with the piece, you see it's got the bottom removed from it. Winchester Red soda. Club drinking scene. This is not tavern, it's club drinking scene. 2 guys sitting at a table and a waiter is serving them. That's club drinking scene. Tavern actually has a man holding a platter up above his head with a boar's head on it. Don't get those two confused. There's a big difference in price. These are a little pricey because they do have tangerine handles. There's a nice little piece of Quaker mustard. Elephant handle mug and amber is always nice. Coronation cocktail shaker. Here is tavern etch. So if you look close, you see that waiter, he's holding that platter up above his head, and there's a boar's head on it. I'll go back to club drinking scene. This is Club Drinking Scene. Two guys sitting at a table. Has a boar's head as an emblem for the tavern that they're in. That's Club Drinking Scene, and then back again to tavern. Everybody wants to call Club Drinking Scene tavern because tavern brings a premium. Club Drinking Scene, it's according to what the piece is on. Some banded flute. There's an item we haven't been able to identify in banded flute. It's marked, but we just don't know what its function is. Have a few pieces of marigold, octagon ice bucket and marigold. And we have the twist ice bucket and marigold. Both of them do have slight crazing to them. We'll go to these other center tables. There's a nice wing scroll set in emerald green. Whenever you see these beer mugs, you really have to watch the handles. Those are really prone to have damage on them, either in the handle or the body right next to it, so you really have to look those over closely. Goose decanter, old sandwich basket. Some people say it's a whimsy. It's not a whimsy. It's an actual production item. A few items in twist flamingo. A couple dinner plates. Impromptu stemware there in the background. Some people call it polka dot. Colonial bowl with a poppy etching on it. That's a little bit different to find. Now we'll switch over to the back tables. A few nice pieces of plantation. The harder to find pieces here are the snack plate up front with a cup, and then the covered cloverleaf candy box. And the cigarette box is a little difficult to find. There's some Alexanderite 10.5 inch Empress plates. I think we have 4 of those, mint condition on those. There's a lariat piece with a very unusual foot on the bottom. See how it kind of swirls around. More pieces of Winchester etch, a martini pitcher, decanter, some large soda glasses, and those soda glasses, if you look, they come several ways. Those have the prospector and a donkey on them. Those are a little harder to find than just the ones with the saddle. A little bit of orchid, Ridgely and Sahara, beautiful pineapple and fan bowl, excellent gold on it. Most of the electric portable lamps you see are number 21 Aristocrats. This is a number 16 base. It is signed. Another company's bought this off of Heisey, and they've cut it. They've cut the base, and then they've cut the shade, and the top of the candle part is marked with the Heisey mark. There's a world candle holder. Going back, I'll just mention the major pieces. There's a canary candy jar in recessed panel, swan pitcher, a dawn covered jar. Some people refer to it as a cocktail shaker. It's not a cocktail shaker. Heisey actually called that a covered jar. Helmet basket and moongleam. Old sandwich ketchup bottle moongleam. There's a Greek key straw jar with the original cover. Most of the price is in the original cover. If you look at this when I lift it up, the cover actually fits over the outside of the top. It doesn't sit on top of it. It fits over the outside. And that's the original cover. The covers are really hard to find. Most stores didn't buy it with the cover because they took the cover off all the time. So they just preferred to have it. So you see a lot of jars, no cover. Very seldom do you see one with the original cover. Helmet basket and moongleam. We'll go down to the bottom of the table here. A few nice pieces of sunburst. Fancy loop. Nice little assortment. Go back up on the top shelf. Have a cut cocktail shaker, like an oriental type design on it. Hawthorne bowl. Pair of Ridgely pyramid decanters. One of them says gin, one says vodka. Those holders, they just slip over the top, but they really dress it up. Aristocrat tall candy jar in cobalt blue. You want to look close at the lid, see the little ball on the very top. That's what you always want to look for. If that little ball is not there, that means it's been broken off and probably polished over. And most of the value of that candy jar is in the lid. Have a pretty good selection of Old Colony etch in Sahara. Lots of different blanks. There's Carcassonne, Octagon, Empress, several different blanks. Old Dominion, recessed panel candy jar and Moongleam. That's a hard one to find. Twist ice pitcher, twist water pitcher. That's not easy to find. And a little selection of Fandango. And then I'll just stand back from a distance here. We'll show you, we've got a couple tables with zircon in them. Casket vase on your right hand side. Then a Saturn vase, Limelight Madonna, or zircon. It was actually made two different time periods, Limelight and zircon were. Zircon was made first in the late 1930s, and when pieces were made in the 30s, they were made in particular patterns. So those pieces are in zircon. The patterns that were made in the 1950s, I think when Limelight came out was out 55, those are called Limelight. Most collectors they don't care. And here's the last table. More Limelight and zircon. Nice little selection. And then our final table. Ipswich candy jar on the far right. There's 3 more different sizes of ball vases in Sahara. A couple 12-inch pineapple and fan vases in crystal. Very pretty goblet. King Arthur goblet with Diane etch. There's 5 different scenes that they put on that. There's only 3 on each one, but there's Diane right there. We just have one of those available. Raindrop water pitcher, Coors, a Fairacre water pitcher, Moongleam basket and helmet. And bonnet. That's not easy to find. And the last thing we have on our list, pictures of, is Putney and Diamond Point. A few scattered pieces. Like I said, if you see anything at all you're interested in, just give Sarah or I a text or a call, and we'll see if we can't locate it and get your price. Thank you very much, and goodbye.